Going from one of the bald foots to the other, we are going into the fantasy version of it and talking about fantasy. Wow, we got some games ahead of us, Joseph.
I would say usually we start off by saying when the Poppies go up, we go up together, they go down, they go down.
Oh, yeah,
we couldn't this week because we played.
So I was going to say, there's only one exception
to that rule.
And that is when we play each other.
That is true, and you evened up the series this year. You made it 1-1. Fun fact, I had to look this up because it pissed me off. Aaron Rodgers has 3 rushing touchdowns this year. 2 of them have been with me and you play.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that shit.
So he likes to turn up just a little extra.
And honestly, I think if you look at our point differential, we're only separated by like 5 points. Like in the first game, you won like 123 to 101.
Yeah.
This game, I won 127 to 109.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
So, I mean, our games have been pretty even. Last time you won, I had to get my revenge. Finally came out on top.
Yeah. So if I would have won, I would have solidified, not locked in, but solidified my playoff spot. At the same time, I would have put pressure on Miguel for you. Actually, I think if I win that game, I become the 2 seed. Not like the actual 2 seed, but I'd be the second because I have the windbreaker win over you.
I still have the better
so if
record.
I know, but no, if I would have beaten you, we would have had the same record.
Oh.
And then I would have had the 2-game winner over you. So if I would have surpassed Miguel, I would have taken 1 seed. Mm-hmm. At the moment, I would have been 3 seed because you're in the other division, so you get that bye week. But what makes it fun is that because you win, you join Miguel. Miguel also did it. Locked in their playoff spots officially. We also were just saying you pretty much locked in the 1 and 2 seed with your wins.
Yeah.
You guys both have a 2-game lead above the next highest team, and there's 2 weeks left. So unless you lose out and lose your point differential, you'll be the 1 and 2 seed. I was looking at the playoff situation, and for us, it gets kind of crazy because
this is insane.
You 2 are in, and you 2 are going to get the bye weeks. But then the next 4 teams make it, regardless of division. So we throw away the division fucking guidelines, and we just go with best teams. We got 3 teams at 7 and 5.
Yep.
These teams are all within 30 points scored of each other.
Okay.
So those can flip flop any week.
Yeah.
And then the 6 seed and the 7 seed. So the last seed making it and the first seed out are both 6 and 6, only 1 game behind. James, though, here's the thing about James. If James continues to win, he's going to lock up his quick because he doesn't have to worry about point differential. He has 15-23.
He is the highest scoring
by
in
far.
Our league.
No one else has broken 1,400 or 1,450, and James is at 1,550.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. James's team has been fucking insane. Like he just scored an insane amount of points.
What makes it fun is that the next 4 teams out of it, so the 2nd through 5th team out of the playoff picture, because Jason is also 6 and 6 and he's in the 7th seed. You got Adrian at 5 and 7, Gibby at 5 and 7. Those 2 are within 4 points of each other as well. Then you got Payan and Carlos a little lower. They're in the 1,300s, so they need some extra help in the standings because they're not going to catch up points wise.
But
here's the thing: Jason and Payan play each other. If Jason loses that game, the minimum to get into the playoffs, it helps me, Elkin, and Saul. We lock in our playoff spot regardless of what else happens in the week, even our own games. Obviously, if we win, we lock in our playoff spots this week. But so that's a huge game, and it would also be interesting because those 2 aren't too far apart in scoring, but it would open up the door for Adrian and Gibby because of their points scored to compete with James, because those 2 could.
Yeah. So see, it's interesting because
James is playing Miguel this week too, the number 1 team in the league. So if James loses this game, Gibby, Carlos, Adrian, and Payan win their game, we will literally come down to the final week for 1 playoff spot, or potentially 2, 3.
So I was gonna say, I think definitely we've said this all year, but this is the first year where we have all 11 teams still in contention at this point. Obviously, the only, speaking of which.
Oh, yes! The only team not in playoff contention is Robert Elam.
The only team not in playoff contention is Robert Elam, who was unwinnable. He was 0-12, 0-11.
0-11.
He was 0-11.
Takes on Adrian, a fringe playoff team.
Up until this weekend, Robert was unwinnable. But he finally takes down fucking Adrian.
Let's go!
Fucking
so
hype.
he
That
was up
insane.
by about 40 going into Monday night. Adrian had Antonio Gibson, DK Metcalf, and Terry McLaurin. Antonio Gibson did his thing.
Yes.
He got like 25.
Yes.
So most nights, that's a win. You only need 15 from Terry and DK Metcalf Terry gets his usual 9.1 because he's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Terry's got 9.1.
And then DK Metcalf has his worst game of his career, damn near.
Yeah, so he had 2.3 points.
Fun fact: Terry McLaurin, or his entire wide receiver core, was on mine and your team last week.
So we were talking about this before the podcast. I traded away DK Metcalf for Jamar Chase, which up until now has proven to be the wisest.
It wasn't
straight up, but basically we switched wide receiver 1 for wide receiver 1.
Right.
Well, wide receiver 2 for me, but DK Metcalf is a wide receiver 1. He just hasn't played like one.
No.
At least in fantasy regards.
His quarterback hasn't played like one.
That too. Fucking Russell Wilson's basically playing with 4 fingers right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, what helps too, obviously he traded away Ezekiel Elliott, which Ezekiel Elliott has been, even though hurt, has been going off. He keeps dropping 16, 17 points consistently.
Right.
We said it before. Adrian just kind of blew up his team. And
for sure.
That opened the door for Robert to finally, I was so happy for him to finally get his first win. I've never seen a team go winless
that long, yeah.
And I will not
I don't think I'll ever see it.
I won't ever see it.
I don't think I'll see it.
If it was to happen, it would have been this year with Robert.
This was as close as we were getting. This is like when...
damn, third to last week? Shit.
Like that felt like when the Chiefs beat the undefeated. Was it the Packers that year? Were the Packers about to go undefeated and the Chiefs won in like week 15?
Maybe, I don't remember.
It was, I remember the Chiefs beat someone and they were like 2-13 and they beat someone who was like 15-0.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's go.
Does that mean that the Detroit Lions are going to win?
I hope so. They need to win soon because I'm not trying to see the same franchise have 2 winless seasons. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, you would go down. I think you are the shittiest team franchise.
I mean, the Browns even pulled through and made a playoff.
I was going to say.
But I mean, Matt Stafford did that with the Lions, so they're essentially the same, just on different conferences. But either way, back to fantasy football.
The fruits of the fantasy.
I mean, we literally have 7 teams. Well, how many is this? It's without you, Miguel, and Roberts. We have 9 teams still in playoff fight, as in, there's teams that are in the picture, but
4 teams that are currently have their spot. You have 1 that's 1 game back, and 4 teams that are 2 games back.
No. You got 4 that currently have their spot. 1 that's just 200 points back. They have the same record.
Well, that's what I mean. So these top 4, and then you have 1 team that's that's 0.
Yeah, then you got 4 guys who are 1 game back.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I'm telling you, if James has an off week and Justin feels this dick, drops 150 week, he could close that gap a little bit for week 17 or what week is it? 14 would be interesting.
So right now, that in that matchup, James is projected to win.
Yeah.
But it is close. So it's only separated by 3.3 points, which
we'll see how that goes. That would be a big one to switch up everything. Because, I mean, technically Miguel doesn't have the 1 seed locked up. If he loses these next 2 games and me or Elkin win our next 2 games, it comes down to point differential.
Yeah.
So there's still a window open. I'm just saying he most likely has it locked up. Same thing with you and Saul, but
I mean, shit. Who does he play next week? So he plays Adrian the week after that, which
click on it. Anybody out? John O'Taylor.
Oh, that's big. Honestly, doesn't need him. I beat Coop with Jonathan Taylor dropping.
Okay. Well, I didn't know this. So if I went out and Miguel loses out, I get 1 seed or 2 seed.
Yeah.
And you get 1 seed.
Yeah. I hope he loses. I want.
But I also need Elkin to lose 1 game, or me to finally outscore him because I think he has like a 20-point lead on me. My team has been not dropping too much. And I hate it.
He has a 26 point.
Yeah, I can close that relatively easily.
And so I close my season out with Payan, so that should be.
Who do I close my season out on?
You close your season out on James. Ooh, wow, that was gonna be.
It could either be me fighting for a 1 seed, or if James loses this week, it could be me pushing James out of the playoffs.
Yeah. Or also opposite, if you lose and he wins and he beats you the week after that,
this is crazy.
That could take you out.
I'm not locked in, so I know I have a chance.
Oh, this is insane.
I think this week. I think this week I'm winning.
No, yeah, I think so too. I think you have a pretty good matchup this week.
It's Gibby. I mean, he's also in kind of the same boat with trying to fight.
Yeah. So I think if Gibby loses, he's not out.
No, yeah. Any team in this bracket, if they lose, they're out. So if Adrian, Gibby, Payan, or Carl lose, they're officially out. I have to lose out and have other people win out for me to even have a chance of getting. Like, me, Elkin, and Saul are pretty much locked in. But, like, technically there's routes for any of us to miss based on the scoring. Because, like I said, Saul's at 14-18. I'm at 14-24, and Elkin's at 14-50. Those are literally all.
Those are all really closest in each other.
Those are literally. It depends on how much you score per week.
But I will give credit to where credit is due to both James and Saul. Like their teams have been on a run these last few weeks. So I congratulate them.
Hey, all I'm saying is Robert Elam is calling the win against Saul the same way he did against Adrian. So he wants back-to-back wins, and a win from him would pretty much lock in me and Elkin too.
Yeah, facts.
Because that would put Saul in that dangerous waters.
In the danger zone.
Which I'm about. I'm trying to get my shit locked in. This is the longest I've gone without having a playoff spot locked in.
Yeah, and you know what? It feels good to
Usually
be like.
by now I'm competing for the 1 seed.
I was gonna say,
that's what our game would have been.
It feels good to like be on the
Usually
outside looking in. Like I'm like, okay, like
the game that I just lost to you right now. That's usually the game I win that finishes off, and I'm in the contention for 1 seed.
Well, shit, it didn't work out that way, but it feels good to be on the outside looking in. Like
this year I'm winning playoffs.
I have my my playoff spot secured.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I got my playoff secured because AJ Brown comes back and Tyreek Hill's now in the lineup.
Yeah, see, I'm cooling because I got Devontae and Aaron Rodgers back next week. So
that's true. Like you could technically lose this week against Carlos and not even flinch.
I could, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't.
Carlos would be fucking hyped for next week.
Yeah. If I do lose though, then I'm almost secure the 2 seed. Like I wouldn't get the 1 seed from Miguel unless he loses. Actually, if he loses,
that's what I'm saying. If he keeps losing, I overtake him
because Miguel is on a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he just slides real quick.
Oh no, he lost against me and then he bounced back. He won.
Oh yeah, he did.
Never mind. Whoops.
But he's gonna go on a 2-game losing streak.
Ooh, that's crazy. Imagine.
That'd be huge. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for fantasy.
That is it for fantasy.
We'll let you know next week about all the playoff situations. I'll actually have them written out. I was trying to, but it was too much.
See you guys in the next segment.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Watch, it's gonna cut off as I'm walking.
I've been trying to find me